Hello, everybody. My name is Brian. I'm with Maximum Libertarian. I want to say thank you for showing up tonight or today or whenever you may be watching it. First and foremost, please go to the subscribe button. Click that subscribe button. Click the notification bell so whenever we have a new video or a new podcast come up here on YouTube, you will be notified. Also, please like and share the video. That would really help us out. So today, what do I want to talk about? I put it up. Will it be legal to steal in Seattle soon? I don't know if you got to see this, but this came out on Friday, December 11th, and I wish I would have done it a little bit sooner. But this will be some cool talk for you to do at the water cooler with all your friends. So let's pull it up. This comes from WSET News. It's a local news channel here. Look right here. Burglars taped the back door window of the barber shop in Baylord. And before they shattered the glass with the slingshot, it took 6 minutes, and the thieves went in and stole $4,000 worth of goods. That's what the owner, Matthew Humphrey, said. He figured that it would, he figured that they would sell the stolen high-end jackets and hair products online to make some money. Now, here's where it gets good. Right here, the wonderful leaders of Seattle. But when he heard that Seattle lawmakers were considering a proposal that would allow people to steal and then resell the items in order to generate money to meet basic needs like food or rent, he couldn't believe it. He thinks it's completely insane. Well, it is absolutely insane. Legalizing theft happens right now. The government does it every day. It does it right in front of people, and no one cares. Everyone will stand there and watch as their family, their friends, their neighbors have the individual's rights are trampled on. Okay? So that's where you have to come in. You have to start standing up and taking a little bit more ownership. When you voted for Donald Trump, when you voted for Joe Biden, you moved the ball forward. You said you were happy. You were fine with the way government is ran. You were fine with other people controlling your life. You can't continue to do like that, because when you do things like that, you get this. Now, if you go down further into the story, the city council, when discussing it, they said they want to make sure that the poverty defense is added to the city code, so that way judges can read it and consider it before them. And they'll be deliberating on this in January. So, there's a few more weeks, and then it's game on. Just go on and break into whoever's house you want. Right down here, if you see, they're calling it fear-mongering, and this lady here says, like, if you're facing up to charges of 100 misdemeanors, you can use the poverty defense in the court. They say things like you can, let me see where it's down here. You can, let's say you go to a grocery store and you steal food. Well, see, right here. If someone steals food from a grocery store but can claim they didn't know there was a food bank right around the corner, they can be protected under the poverty defense. This is insane what's going on. Now, it don't really surprise me coming from that neck of the woods, because they do make some crazy rulings and stand by these tent cities. Instead of trying to fix the issue, they just allow it to manifest. So, when I started thinking about this, and because the leaders are helping the poor out, and I just wanted to look up another thing. Let's go over to, in 2014, Seattle. They passed a $15 minimum wage. And this came from CNBC back in January of this year. We'll go down it in a minute. But let's just go over what the libertarian ideas would be. There would be no minimum wage, that a worker would be able to go into their job and they would be able to say that I'm worth this amount. And the owner would say, I agree with that. or I don't agree with that, and the worker moves on. See, a lot of times when I feel like when these folks make these uh, demanding on a business, what they do is those that are doing it have never ran a business, so they don't have to worry about paying the taxes. They don't have to be worried about paying into all the different categories of taxes. They don't have to worry about buying the supply, paying the for the building, all this good stuff. They just leave it because it's just going to magically appear. The business owner, the small business owner, and everyone likes to pretend that if you are owning a business, you're making 6-7 figures. Look, I don't own a business, but I'm pretty confident to say that a lot of small businesses are, some of them, yeah, they're doing very well. Some of them are right there on the line, and some of them are just got their neck right just a little bit where they can suck the air. And when things come up like this stupid government shutdown with the corona pandemic, the government has blood on its hands, and individuals, and I will stand by this, individuals that push this nonsense of shutting down small businesses, it is. You have blood on your hands. You know what you should do? If you feel sick, don't go out. Wear a mask if you want, but take the supplements: vitamin C, vitamin D, multivitamin, eat whole foods, exercise, try to sleep right, stay calm. What the news does is they like to speed everyone's up, get them all nervous and panicked. And if they get corona, then we're already on death. We're just one step away from death. And I remember when I got corona a few weeks ago, and I was getting all these, "You can do it. You can do it." And I was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't even know I had it. So I was asymptomatic, but I was getting these as if I had stage 4 lung cancer. And that's not the case. I understand what happens with coronavirus can be very traumatic on some people because if they have other health issues. So maybe what we should do, just like you're doing right now, start looking at other ways to, make sure you don't have a health issue. Lose some weight, eat healthy, sleep, take the supplements. Don't put junk in your mouth and go, "Oh, well, I ate 15 candy bars over the past 7 days. That should be healthy, right?" So don't blame everybody else. It's your body. It's your choice. So be responsible for yourself. You don't have to be responsible for me. I'll be fine, and I think you'll be fine. See, the government wants you to be dependent on them. They want the kids. You have children. Well, then who's supposed to feed the children? The only way they can eat is if they go to school. Why were you having kids if you couldn't be responsible for them? That's the question. Now, I understand sometimes people fall on hard times and you need to help them up. I'm cool with that. But we can't have government in there because just like big pharma and the military industrial complex, you have big poverty. There's a lot of organizations, especially out there in California. You can look up a Vice documentary and it talks about how these folks, they feed and fester. They want people just to make these big donations, and they continue to have Tent City down Los Angeles. And now you have idiots in local government, like I just read in Seattle, approving it to be legal to steal. It's a shame. Now let's go over here real quick to CNBC before the end of this little broadcast. And Seattle passed in 2014. It'll gradually increase this upcoming year. Oh, thank the Lord. Now, here's a real good thing. Gaining attention from top presidential candidates Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. If everyone please remember, Bernie Sanders, who calls for $15 an hour minimum wage, when he was running for president, he needed people to help work on his website, but he wanted to pay him $12 an hour because Bernie Sanders is a typical socialist, and it's good for him, not for you. It's good for him. So lay down on your ground. I get told, you get to hear, you're a bootlicker and things of that nature if you support different military or if you support the police or whatever. And I think bootlickers can be labeled just as on the Bernie Sanders side too, on the AOC side, or on any type of progressive movement, because it's bound to fail. Right now we are living good, and we really, we're flying over the edge. Let's just be honest. We're about to die. But should we pull the parachute? That's where we're at. We are at the pull the parachute phase of America's life, you know. All right, but if you go down here and it talks about the minimum wage, the funny thing about this, what I was reading, is wages go up, makes it easier for people to take hours off. So some people would get the minimum wage hike and then they wouldn't work full time because now they don't have to work as much, correct? But passing this law showed the nation $15 was not ridiculous. And see, that's another problem, because with what pays for $15 an hour in my neck of the woods, you'd be living like a king. But if you go up to New York City, $15 an hour don't really work. So in turn, it should be based on the individual, on the company, what they can afford. And then number two, if you're going to force a federal minimum wage, it should be based on locality and not by just this one size fits all type thing. Now, if you go down here, there's this really good line. Let's see. This gentleman right here, he worked. He worked like several jobs. Let's see. And he said he feels better now that he's making, instead of $9 an hour, he's making $15 an hour. Well, if he felt bad because he was making $9 an hour with everybody else, okay, now everybody's making $15 an hour. It's not going to take that long, because just like the guy Dick said, prices went up, everything went up. So that $15 is now going to be the new $9. Let's see. But ends here, different economists fight over, has it really changed anything? When wages went up, hours worked declined. But it followed up last year. The author noted that it wasn't that case for everyone. And the experience in low wage jobs saw their earnings rise. And then down here in Berkeley in 2018, increase in pay has not led to job loss. Go look at McDonald's and see the kiosks. Go down to Sheetz and look at the kiosks. Go to Walmart. Go to any big box store that the federal government is pushing you to go to, because you can't go to a small business at this point. They have a lot of self-checkout. That's not because they're wanting to make it easier for us and to get through the line a lot quicker. It's because it's a lot cheaper for me to just ring my own stuff up, bag it, and leave. But hey, it has no effect on no job losses. But let's go down here. This is a very good article. It gives both sides of the story. Now, this is what I really like right here. This is the part that let me see if I can highlight it for you. So it says Matthew Dillon, he was the owner of that restaurant, Siska and Spruce, and he believes minimum wage hike should be even higher. And that's why he pays his workers above the threshold. And see, that's what the job of the business owner should do. You want good workers, you pay for them. You don't want good workers, you don't pay for them. It's all good. But he got to make the decision. No one else did. Okay, so let's go further. But when his lease came up, the James Beard award-winning chef decided it was time to close doors after more than a decade in the business, serving the restaurant's last dinner on New Year's Eve, passing off costs to consumers in an environment where his rent, was $16,000 per month, including taxes and fees, and where food and labor costs have also risen, felt unsustainable. He has other businesses that are still up and running in the area. So see, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, Mr. Dillon shut down his business because the cost went too high. He also got to make the decision. Does he pay his workers more or does he not? But see, because of the federal government, it comes in, they say you've got to pay even more. He had to raise his rates. So let's say he was paying $9 and he was paying $11, $12 for the different people. Now he has to pay $15. Now the individual who just came in, who's a busboy, would be making minimum wage. Well, now that busboy, that the server, the cook, or whoever goes, hey, I need to be paid more. Don't pay me what the busboy makes. I'm more important than that. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just say it. Seattle is ignorant. They are dumb. They are stupid. But just like my state, which is filled with a bunch of ignorant and stupid people. And the reason I say that is because look who we vote for. We vote for Donald Trump in a lot of the parts of the states. We vote for Joe Biden in lots of parts of the state. And reality is they are both the exact same thing. Until people realize that they've got to make a change, that they've got to be responsible for themselves, nothing's going to change. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I keep saying ladies and gentlemen today. I guess the moral of the story is it's not good to be a thief. All Seattle is doing is legalizing what they do on a daily basis. But now the citizens get to do it. Yes, I said the moral of the story. What's the moral of the story? Don't steal. Because when you steal, people go out of business. Them jobs that you're supposedly protecting are no longer there. Now you get a group of workers who had a job. Now they've got to go out and steal if they're on that type of ilk. So let's be smart. Be responsible for yourself. And help small businesses, but help big businesses. Because look, Amazon's a good business. Walmart's a good business. Walgreens is a good business. But the mom and pop shop down the road, they're a good business too. Help everybody out. That's the moral of the story too. And don't steal, for God's sakes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've hit the 17-minute mark. I hope you've made it all the way through with me. If not, we'll be together one day at the end. But please click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like and share this video with all your family and friends. That would be wonderful. And remember, we do videos 4 days a week. We're trying to do 4.5-hour videos 4 days a week. And we do one larger podcast every week. And it should be available very, very, very soon on all the major platforms, Apple and Google. Right now it's on Spotify, Podbean, SoundCloud, Pandora, Alexa, whatever. So please listen to the podcast, share and like that. We would love for your help. So please comment below if you have any, if you want to tell me how I'm wrong. I'm cool with that, because maybe you'll teach me something. But until next time, I'm Brian from Maximum Libertarian, and I will see you later. And here we go.